The dawn of 2025 carried a special weight over Spain. For weeks, the whispers had grown louder, filling newsrooms, cafes, and palace corridors alike. King Felipe VI was preparing to take his final step, a gesture that would forever seal the path of his eldest daughter, Princess Leonor, toward becoming the first reigning queen of Spain in centuries. The Zarzuela Palace stood calm in the January light, yet inside, history stirred. King Felipe had ruled with dignity for more than a decade, guiding Spain through political storms, social change, and the delicate dance of monarchy in a modern world. But time, as always, moved forward. And the time had come to pass the mantle to the next generation. In the royal study, Felipe sat across from Leonor. Gone was the solemn crown, the heavy robes of duty, he was simply a father, speaking to his daughter. His usually commanding voice carried a quiet gentleness. "Leonor," he said, "today is not about me stepping back. It is about you stepping forward. Spain will look at you with both hope and scrutiny. But remember, being queen does not mean being perfect. It means being true." Leonor listened intently, her hands folded in her lap. At 19, she had already endured military training, delivered speeches that silenced critics, and carried the expectations of millions. Yet in that moment, she felt like a daughter again, wanting only to make her father proud. "I don't know if I'll ever be ready," she admitted. Felipe reached across the table, placing his hand over hers. "Neither was I when I began. But readiness is not a feeling, it's an action. And today, my final action as king is to show you that Spain belongs in your hands." The nation held its breath as Felipe prepared his last act. In a private yet profoundly symbolic ceremony, he signed the final royal decree of his reign. The document was not about politics or law, it was about succession, a declaration that Princess Leonor was now entrusted fully with the duties and privileges of the crown. The signing was broadcast live. Cameras captured the moment Felipe laid down his pen, paused, and looked at his daughter with pride. The king then rose, removed the royal sash from his shoulder, and placed it gently across Leonor's. It was a gesture that carried centuries of tradition, but it was also deeply human, a father passing not just a kingdom, but a lifetime of wisdom. Across Spain, televisions flickered, radios hummed, and phones buzzed with the images of history being made. In Madrid, crowds gathered outside the palace gates, waving flags and chanting Leonor's name. "She's ready," an elderly woman whispered to her granddaughter, tears in her eyes. "We've watched her grow up. Now we will watch her lead." Young people, too, looked to Leonor with a sense of connection. Unlike monarchs of the past, she was their age, sharing their struggles, their music, their digital world. Her journey from student to soldier to sovereign felt like a story Spain could claim as its own. Infanta Sofia stood nearby during the ceremony, her gaze steady on her sister. Though she would not wear the crown, she knew her role was no less vital. As Leonor's confidant and anchor, Sofia embodied the quiet strength of support. After the signing, Sofia hugged Leonor tightly. "You've got this," she whispered. "Spain isn't just gaining a queen, they're gaining you." For Leonor, those words mattered more than all the applause beyond the palace gates. That evening, King Felipe gave his farewell address. Standing beside Queen Letizia and his daughters, he spoke not as a ruler but as a servant of the people. "My final action today was not to end my reign, but to continue Spain's story through the hands of my daughter. Leonor carries the hope of a new generation, the values of this nation, and the courage to lead us forward. I ask you, my people, to give her the same trust you once gave me." The crowd roared in response, the sound echoing through Madrid's plazas. When it was Leonor's turn to speak, she stepped forward with calm resolve. Her voice, though youthful, carried authority. "I accept this responsibility with humility and devotion. Spain is my home, my family, and my future. I will serve with all my strength, not as someone above you, but among you. My father's final action was to trust me with this crown. My first action is to earn your trust in return." Her words brought a hush, then thunderous applause. Later that night, as the palace grew quiet, Felipe walked alone through the corridors that had defined his reign. For the first time in years, he felt light, like a man who had run a long race and now passed the torch. He stopped at the doorway of Leonor's chambers, watching as she removed her sash and crown, laying them carefully on the table. For a fleeting moment, she looked just like the child who once held his hand in those very halls. And Felipe smiled, knowing that his final action had not been about letting go, but about lifting his daughter higher. Spain's future was no longer his to shape. It belonged to Leonor.